Dear students of class 9, this is the same lesson, the Mughal Empire, I am going to teach you under such following points. Jahangir, Nurjahan, Khurram as the prince, Shahjahan, life, achievements, as a conqueror, his role. First point, Jahangir. Who was Jahangir? Jahangir, was the son of Emperor Akbar. His nickname was Salim, Badshah Salim. Jahangir ascended the throne in the year 1628 CE and took an active role as an emperor of Delhi. He played an important role unlike his father. He took an active role as an emperor unlike his father. He not only added the territory of Kabul and Kandahar, Samarkand, but also areas of the Deccan. Ahmednagar was conquered in the year 1633, and it was due to his efforts Bijapur and Golconda accepted suzerainty of the Mughals in the year 1636 CE and 1656 CE respectively. He tried to conquer the old territories of his ancestors in Central Asia and Kandahar but failed. Shahjahan was before discussing about Jahangir, I started discussing about Shahjahan, my dear students. Please don't take it otherwise. Now I am teaching about Shahjahan. Then I shall get back and clarify Jahangir. Although it is my technical mistake anyway, but please let me have a chance to clarify it from the beginning. It will be better for you. So let me start once again. Jahangir, the role of Jahangir. Jahangir, who was Jahangir? Jahangir actually was the son of Emperor Akbar, and his nickname was Salim. Whose nickname was Salim? Jahangir's nickname was Salim. Jahangir was the son of Emperor Akbar. He succeeded Akbar in the year 1605 CE and assumed the title Jahangir, meaning the conqueror of the world. Jahangir was a successful ruler like his father. He was also liberal ruler like his father. He had a keen interest in art, paintings, because he himself was a great scholar. He wanted his son Khurram to defend Kandahar from Persians. However, he refused, and Kandahar was lost to the Persians. This was a great loss to them, as Kandahar was a major trade route between India and Central Asia. According to some historians, if Khurram shouldered the responsibilities of that very expedition for Kandahar, he would be able to defeat the opponents and establish the rule of the Mughals, so that they must start trade through that way. Means through the route between India and Central Asia. But Prince Khurram refused to take importance to that very proposal of his father Jahangir. Later on I shall discuss it in detail. It was during this period that two Englishmen, John Hawkins and Sir Thomas Roe, came to India as ambassadors of King James I of England and sought trading rights and concessions from Emperor Jahangir. They set up a factory at Surat in the year 1612 CE. The English East India Company had already been formed in 1600 CE, but they had no factory in India because the previous rulers not allowed them to construct any factory in India, simply allowed them to trade with us, to trade with our country. But it was Jahangir who consented them to construct a factory at Surat, according to which they constructed a factory at Surat in the year 1612. The two ambassadors of King James I of England. Who were they? They were John Hawkins and Sir Thomas Roe. Jahangir was married to a lady, Nur Jahan. Nur Jahan was the daughter of Idmat-ud-Dawla, a noble in the court of Akbar. Nur Jahan was a clever and competent woman. She was not only an intelligent woman, but also had creative abilities. Jahangir often consulted her on various issues, on various administrative and state matters. Jahangir always gave importance to the decisions of Nur Jahan because Jahangir hopefully consulted her. In a sense, he was benefited with the decisions of Nur Jahan for several times. That's why he gave priority to the decisions of Nur Jahan and consulted her. He was not always the best judge of some situations which he himself realized, and left the running of the kingdom to his wife Nur Jahan, whom he doted upon, means from backside of his throne. Nur Jahan instructed, declared her decisions, and Jahangir followed it. Jahangir consulted Nur Jahan sitting on the throne for Nur Jahan, and Nur Jahan replied it sitting from backside. This caused faction and divisions in the court, and subsequent revolts by Khurram. Prince Khurram did not recognize it. His father Jahangir, the son of Emperor Akbar, ascended the throne, but he was totally dependent on Nur Jahan, his wife. Nur Jahan was not actually the empress. Simply, she was the wife of Emperor Jahangir. So Jahangir was supposed to rule the country independently. As a son of Jahangir, Nurjahan's presence forced him to revolt. As a son of Jahangir, Nurjahan's presence, Nurjahan's role, active role in the system of administration and controlling the entire administrative system forced Khurram revolt against it. That's why Prince Khurram revolted against that very system. He requested his father not to follow that system and to rule that very country independently without depending on his wife Nurjahan. But Nurjahan had a charismatic personality. That's why she was able to manage it somehow. She was able to manage her husband Jahangir somehow and influenced over him. Jahangir became addicted to wine during his last days, and after his death in the year 1627 CE, Nurjahan retired from court life. Prince Khurram realized that his father was addicted to alcohol and there were so many diseases deteriorating his health from day to day. But he did not still leave taking alcohol. He kept on drinking. And Nurjahan was unable to make that habit stop. Shahjahan, as a prince, got himself ready for any revolt against her stepmother Nurjahan. Nurjahan decided to make her son-in-law, means another son of Jahangir, means brother of Prince Khurram, emperor after the death of her husband. Prince Khurram knew it. That's why he left no stone unturned to be the next ruler of Delhi after the death of his father. As a result of it, after the death of his father Jahangir, Prince Khurram reached Delhi and ascended the throne. And then Nurjahan retired from court life. Shahjahan or Khurram ascended the throne in the year 1628 CE. He played an active role as an emperor, unlike his father. He not only added the territory of Kabul and Samarkand but also areas of the Deccan. Kabul and Samarkand, the two most important areas he occupied, and established trade relations with Central Asia. And some areas of the Deccan also came under his control. Ahmednagar was also conquered in the year 1633 CE. Bijapur and Golconda, both the two important places, accepted the supremacy of the Mughals under his rule in the year 1636 CE and 1656 CE respectively. He tried to conquer the old territories of his ancestors in Central Asia and Kandahar, but failed. The cost of all these campaigns took its role on the exchequer. In addition, he was also a great connoisseur of art and architecture and undertook great building projects. Shah Jahan extended his empire by defeating neighbor states, by forcing them accepted his political supremacy. At the same time, Shah Jahan decided to construct a number of good palaces, buildings, mosques. He gave importance to the construction work in order to grace the image of the Mughals, in order to introduce Mughal art, Mughal painting, Mughal architecture, because a number of architects, painters, and distinguished artists were patronized by Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan encouraged them to construct, to introduce new style of painting, new style of art, new style of, architecture, so that the people of India, the people of the whole world must recognize the Mughals to be eminent rulers of India who ruled once. As a result of it, he constructed his new capital at Delhi, the Red Fort. He decided to shift it from Agra to Delhi. He constructed the Jama Masjid, which is one of the biggest mosques of India. He constructed the great Taj Mahal beside the river Yamuna in order to commemorate the image of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. Later I shall discuss. So these all were beautiful buildings constructed by Shah Jahan. The peacock throne made of gold and studded with precious stones was carried away by Nadir Shah to Iran in 1739 CE. It was used by Shah Jahan during the time of judgment for the local people, masses. They used to come to have equal justification, equal justice, and Shah Jahan heard their views and tried his level best to solve their problems, sitting on that very peacock throne. It was installed at Diwan-i-Am inside the Red Fort. This was the age of magnificence as the Mughal empire reached its highest extent. Foreign trade was encouraged, and Europeans like Francis Barnier added to the splendor of the court. A number of European traders came to trade with this country. Shah Jahan allowed them. There was increase in agriculture productivity, innovation in the fields of horticulture, shipbuilding, and irrigation. You know, Shah Jahan's biggest failure was the inability to control his sons. Shah Jahan wanted his eldest son Dara to become the emperor after his death. A fierce conflict broke out among his sons. In the end, Aurangzeb defeated, suppressed, and killed all his brothers, imprisoned his father Shah Jahan, and then took over the charge of the empire as an emperor. So what Shah Jahan did not want to make, Aurangzeb forcefully did it. Shah Jahan had equal love and sympathy for all children, for all his children. But unfortunately, his sons were killed by only one son, Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb killed all his brothers in order to be the ruler of Delhi. Aurangzeb knew that his father might establish his influence over him, and once again could declare himself to be an emperor of Mughal dynasty, and could arrest him and could kill him. That's why he arrested his father Shah Jahan and then became the emperor of Delhi. As a Mughal emperor, what did he do? I shall not discuss today. Next day it will be discussed. It will be taught to you next day. The role of Aurangzeb, what had he done, and why were some of his schemes failed, and what was the reason. The Mughal Empire, which was extended beyond his control during his reign, was collapsed. He was unable to keep control over there. And what was the reason? He had to stay at the Deccan many years of his life, and which resulted in disintegration of the Mughal Empire. Next day I shall discuss. Up to this, my dear students. Thank you.